Hey guys, welcome back. Got a pretty special video for you today. I'm going to be teaching you guys how to do a card trick. Now, if you'll remember, not too long ago, I posted a video on my channel, and I said, "Hey, go check out all the tricks that I've done so far on my page, and let me know which ones you guys would like to learn the most. And whichever tricks get the most votes, whichever two tricks get the most votes, I'm going to do some videos showing you guys how to do those two tricks." And so this is one of them. First of all, I want to thank everybody that voted. I got 3 votes altogether. 2 people commented on that video, and then I had 1 person email me their votes as well. And so we had 2 winners. And so I'm going to do one of the tricks in this video, and then I'll do a second video for the second trick. And like I said, this is something that I'd like to do maybe once a month or so, where I do a video and I say, hey, go check out all the videos that I've done so far. Let me know which tricks you would like to learn the most, and whichever tricks get the most votes. Maybe I'll do maybe 1, maybe 2, maybe even 3 videos for the tricks that you guys really want to see the most. So hopefully I can do that maybe once a month or so. So if you didn't vote this last time, keep your eyes peeled on my channel and vote the next time that I do one of these, and hopefully you can learn a couple of really cool magic tricks here. So the trick that you guys wanted to see the most, and that I'm going to show in this video, is Triumph. Now if you remember, Triumph was the first video that I posted on my channel. It was the very first video that I uploaded. And the reason for that, the reason I made it first, is that it's possibly my favorite card trick. It's a close call between this one and a few others, but this one might be my favorite card trick to show people. So I think you guys picked a good one in voting for Triumph. So if you remember that video, that's great. Or if you want to pause this video, go back to the very beginning of my channel and check out Triumph. Then, to refresh your memory, then come back here and I'll kind of walk you through how it's done. Now, Triumph is the name that's given to really any card trick where you take half the cards face up, half face down, mix them together, and then magically all the cards end up going the same way except for the spectator's card. So the word Triumph is kind of it's a name given to a lot of different tricks like that where you mix face up and face down. There's a lot of different variations, a lot of different versions of a Triumph trick. This is one. This is probably my favorite, but there are others, and I'll probably do other versions of Triumph down the road on my channel. But like I said, this one might be my favorite. So with that, I'll go ahead and just kind of walk you through how it's done. The good news is that this is one of my favorite tricks. I think it's a really killer trick. Like I said, it's one of the best card tricks that I know. So I think you guys picked a good one. I think it'll impress a lot of people if you decide to learn it. The bad news is that it doesn't use a normal deck of cards. If you want to do this trick and learn this trick and show it off to people, it will require maybe an $8 to $15 investment. There is something that you guys will probably have to go out and buy, or if you do magic, you might already have this lying around, but it will involve maybe $8 to $15 worth, and I'll explain that as I go. So this trick really involves 3 different components. Half the deck, the first component, half the deck are normal cards, just like you would find in any deck of playing cards. They've got a front and a back. They really are just normal cards. The other half of the deck, the second component, on one side they have backs, and on the other side they have backs. They're the same on both sides. They're what's called in magic, obviously, double-backed cards. And they're used in a lot of different magic tricks, and they really come in handy for this trick. So that's the other half of the deck. And then the third component is a special card, one special card. It's a normal card with a front and a back, but it's been cut. One of the short edges here, you take kind of a pair of scissors and cut off just a tiny bit, only about a millimeter or so, a very, very short strip on one of the ends. And so what you have, I don't know if you can tell on camera, but if you were to take this short card after you cut it and a normal card and put them so they're flush at the bottom, you might be able to tell the short card is a tiny bit shorter, only about a millimeter shorter than all the others. And there's a reason that you want a short card, and I'll explain that when I get to it. So to start the trick, here's what you want to do. You want to take all your double-backed cards, and again, it doesn't matter what, how you put them because they're all the same, no matter what direction they're facing. Put those down. Then you'll take your short card, put it face up, and then take all your other normal cards, put those face up. Now at this point, you're ready to begin. So you can start the trick by showing off the deck. The audience will obviously think it's just a normal, face down deck. What you don't want to do, unfortunately, is to shuffle the cards. You kind of just have to start the trick with the deck as it is. So what you'll do is you'll turn the deck face up, and you'll ask somebody to name any card they see as it goes by. So you'll start spreading through the deck nice and slow and have somebody call out any card they see that they like. Now you want to make sure you're spreading only in the top half, because if you spread too far, you'll run into this. You'll run into all the double-backed cards. So obviously you don't want your audience to see that. So just spread through this half nice and slow. Let anybody call out a card that they see that they like. So we'll go with the Queen of Clubs, hypothetically. So take that one out, put it aside. Now what you want to do is you want to turn the deck over, face down, and spread it out. So you're going to say, okay, we're going to take your chosen card, the Queen of Clubs, and we're going to get it lost in the middle of the deck. So what you do is you want to make sure that when you stick this card in the middle, you want to make sure it's in this half of the deck. Because this top half here, are these. They're your double-backed cards. So you don't want to stick it in, right up top here, because that'll seem obvious and suspicious. You want to stick it in, towards the halfway point, but just make sure it's on this side. So with a little bit of practice, you should be able to do it pretty well. I can tell just by eyeballing it, if I stick this in right here, for example, I'll be good. It looks like it's going in right in the middle, but I can tell that it's in this half. So once you do that, you just push it all the way in and square up the deck. Now at this point, everything seems totally fair to your audience. You spread through the cards, let somebody pick one, any card they wanted, and then it looks like it just got lost in the deck. And everything up to this point seems totally fair and legitimate. Now at this point, if you remember from my performance video, you're going to divide the deck in half. You're going to take half the deck face down, you're going to take the other half and turn it face up, so we can shuffle the two halves together. Now this is the only real move of the trick, and this is where that short card comes into play, the card that we cut a millimeter off the top. That's where this card is used. What you want to do, essentially, is divide the deck in half. So you can turn one half face up, keep one half face down. What you want to do is hold the deck in your left hand, and with your right thumb, you're going to put your thumb on the short end that's closest to you, kind of the back end away from the audience. And I can give you kind of a backwards view of it here. What you want to do is you want to take your thumb and just riffle upward. Start at the bottom and a riffle upward towards the top. And if you do that, you'll notice when I do it that my thumb keeps catching the same spot. My thumb is just naturally hitting the same spot. And that is because the short card that we cut a little bit off of one end, that creates a little bit of a space or a little bit of a gap when it's inside all the other cards, because you cut it short, so there's a little bit of a gap. So when I riffle upward, my thumb just naturally catches that break, that gap. And you can practice this at home. If you riffle upward, your thumb will every time just automatically catch where that break is. So you want to do that real casually, just not draw any attention to stopping at that specific spot. Just riffle up and say, okay, we're going to take about half the cards face down, turn the other half face up. So that's really the only move of the trick, but again, with some practice, it should be pretty easy. Again, your thumb will just naturally, every single time, hit where that short card is because of the gap that it creates. So just say we're going to take half the cards face down, half the cards face up. But again, you don't want to draw any real attention to that. Just act like you're just casually, randomly cutting the deck in half. So at this point, you're really going to shuffle these two halves together, face up into face down. No sleight of hand or anything like that. You really are shuffling face up into face down. After you shuffle them together, you can cut the cards as I did. You can shuffle them again, cut them again, and then spread them out. After you've shuffled, spread them out and really let the audience get a good look and see that the deck really is all mixed up. Face up into face down. No pattern, no order. The deck really is all messed up. So let them just kind of look at this and focus on this for a few seconds. Get that in their mind. The deck is all messed up. Now I'm going to pause for a second and show you guys what the underside of the deck looks like. See, if I were to turn the deck over, the deck looks like this. All the cards are face down except for the spectator's selection. And the reason for that, if you were kind of following along, is that half of what you're seeing are double-backed cards, which look the same no matter which direction they're facing. And then half of these are the backside of the normal cards, right? And then we put their selection in face down amid all the double-backed cards. And so that's why it's face up when you flip everything over. But you obviously don't want to show the spectator that just yet. You want to kind of leave it like this for a couple seconds. Now at this point, the rest of the trick is really just presentation, because the work is done. All you have to do to finish the trick is to turn the deck over, right? So the spectator and the audience will see what I just showed you guys, the back side of the deck. So there's lots of different ways to do this. Again, you can kind of come up with your own presentation. What I like to do is to say I'm going to gather up the cards, put them in the box, and we're going to do this invisibly. Now if you'll notice, just now I flipped the deck over. I found that the box is a nice kind of casual, discreet way of flipping over the deck. So I say, okay, the deck's all mixed up. I'm gonna fix the deck, not physically, but invisibly. So I'll gather up the cards, put them in the box, and then just very casually turn the deck over, turn the box over. And again, don't draw any attention to that. Most people won't even notice it. But the trick at this point is done. Because now that the box has been flipped over, if I were to take the cards out, they would be like this. But you don't want to do that right away. After you flip the box over, you want to just kind of kill a minute or two. You don't want to immediately open up the box again, because that'll seem kind of fishy. So at this point, I say, okay, I'm going to take the cards out invisibly, separate them face up and face down invisibly. Take one pile, flip it over. So now all the cards are going the same way. Ask somebody to remind you what their card was. They'll say the Queen of Clubs. Pretend like I'm going through the cards invisibly looking for their card. Take it out, flip it over, put it back in with the rest so that now it's going the opposite way as all the other cards. Then gather up the cards invisibly, put them back in the box. Again, you can come up with your own presentation here, but I find that it's good to just kind of kill 2 or 3 minutes after you flip over the box. Then at this point, really all you have to do is give a magic snap, open up the box, and spread through the cards. All the cards are now going the same direction, all except for the spectator's card. So that's pretty much it. There's not much to it. Now, there's really only 2 moves you have to do in the trick. You have to riffle up and find that spot, and then turn the box over, or turn the deck over. And that's really the only moves, if you want to call them that, in the trick. I can even walk you through the trick again here, just real quickly. Do it a little bit faster. So you just take out all the face-up cards when you're done, and you'll be ready to go again. So to start again, you take all your double-backed cards, put those down, then find your short card, in my case the 5 of diamonds, put it face up, and then the rest on top. So again, you can start by just showing a normal deck of cards, have somebody name one that they like, say the 2 of hearts, stick it towards the middle, but on this half, so right about there should be good. Square it up, get it lost in the deck. Then say we're going to take half the cards face down, half face up, and we're going to shuffle these 2 halves together. You can cut them, shuffle them again, let the audience see that the deck really is all mixed up. Now at this point, again, I'll gather them up, say, I'm going to do this invisibly. Turn the box over, kill a couple minutes. I'm going to take the cards out invisibly, separate them into face up and face down. Flip one pile over so they're all going the same way. Kind of whatever presentation you want to add to it to draw the trick to a close. And then give a snap, open up the box, spread them out, and there you have it. All the cards are now going the same way, except for the spectators. So that's pretty much it. The only downside when you're done is that some people might want to see the deck. They might want to examine it, play around with it. Unfortunately, you can't let people play with the deck because, as you saw, the other side of the deck looks like this. So it's not a normal deck of cards, so if you pass it around, people might kind of get an idea of how it's done. So I think that's really the only drawback to the trick, is that the deck's not examinable at the end, but other than that, I think it's a really good card trick. So it's called Triumph, and you can buy the trick online. I want to say it was about $20. It comes with the deck. It comes with the exact deck you need. It even comes with the short card already made, so you're completely ready to go. It also comes with the DVD that'll teach you how to do the trick and walk you through it probably better than I did. So you can buy the trick outright, or you can buy a bunch of these. Really the only thing you need is some double-backed cards, and you can buy a deck of these. You can buy a deck of 52 double-backed cards, and like I said at the beginning, I've seen them run as low as $8, anywhere from $8 up to $15 for a whole deck of double-backed cards. So that's another option you can do, is just buy a deck of those and then take a card and cut it short, and you'll be ready to go. So that is it. That is Triumph. Again, I think it's worth the investment. Again, I'm sorry it doesn't use a normal deck of cards for this exact performance, but I think for $8 to $15, it's a really good investment, really good card trick. So there you have it. That's how you do the Triumph trick on my channel. Hope you guys liked it. Again, I'll be doing this, like I said, once a month or so. Maybe as you're watching it, if there's some tricks that I do on my channel that you really, really like and you really want to know how they're done, maybe keep a note. And then next time I do a video and say, hey, which tricks would you guys like to learn? You'll be ready to go with your vote. So appreciate you guys watching, appreciate you guys voting. Make sure you vote next time if you didn't. And again, this was trick 1 of 2. I'll be doing another video real soon here of the other trick that you guys wanted to see. So stay tuned for that real shortly here. So thank you guys for watching. I know it was a long video, but hopefully it was worth it. Hopefully you guys learned a pretty cool card trick here. So that was Triumph. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.